online and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
We begin tonight with breaking news as the Pentagon is confirming that a key general within Iran's military has been killed in an airstrike at Baghdad's international airport. Reporter Natalie Brand explains the significance behind the announcement.
CBS News confirmed the U.S. conducted a strike at the Baghdad International Airport in Iraq. According to Iraqi state TV, Qasem Soleimani, the head of a branch of Iran's Revolutionary Guard, was killed in the attack, as well as several others. Soleimani, a powerful Iranian general, has been a key planner behind many of Iran's military operations throughout the Middle East. Neither U.S. nor Iranian officials have confirmed his death. On Thursday, U.S. troops with the 82nd Airborne Division arrived in Kuwait following 2 days of violent protests at the embassy in Baghdad. An additional 3,000 are on alert and preparing to deploy to the region.
It's not a show of force. It's a reinforcing capability that we can employ not just in Iraq, but throughout the region.
Speaking to reporters off camera, Defense Secretary Mark Esper said there are indications militias loyal to Iran are planning further attacks.
Do I think they may do something? Yes, and they will likely regret it.
Iranian-backed demonstrators stormed the U.S. Embassy's perimeter on Tuesday, setting fires, throwing rocks, and destroying a reception building at the sprawling compound. The protesters dismantled their camp and moved on, but they left behind damaged buildings and heightened tensions.
There's going to be a debate in the Iraqi parliament about whether the U.S. military should go home or not. That was the deal to get the protesters to withdraw.
Tensions in Iraq rose after the U.S. blamed Iranian-backed Shia militias for killing an American contractor in a missile strike on an Iraqi base late last month. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Arlington, Virginia.
In addition to the 82nd Airborne, the Pentagon is also deploying 3 Marine amphibious ships to the Persian Gulf as reinforcements in case they're needed. In news closer to home tonight, there's still plenty of snow that has to be relocated. Several apartment complexes are trying to clear their areas, but it hasn't been easy. Valley News Team's Courtney Lockie talked with residents who are caught between a snowdrift and a hard place.
Ashley Faulkner has been battling snow all week.
So when I shovel, I don't have anywhere to put my snow. So it goes into a little mountain, which makes me have to back out crooked. And I couldn't back out crooked this morning because there's a car stuck right there in the snow because the plows haven't come through yet. So I was 15 minutes late to work.
She's trapped for now, but does have a garage to park her car in. Others don't.
I just got home. I had a letter on my door. It said, I think on January 4th, we can't park in the parking lot because they're going to plow.
For Brooke Hammond, it's been a hassle. Streets outside of apartment complexes are already lined with cars because there's no place to park.
It's almost like a maze. So as long as you stay in the path, you can make your way out. But there's definitely garages still blocked and some parking spaces still blocked.
And there are other complexes trying to do the same thing.
Parking on this street out here is super dangerous because it makes the street really small. We do get a lot of speeders.
City officials have not only been asking, but enforcing its new snow emergency law to keep cars off the streets so crews can clean them up faster.
I worry about my car on the street too with the plows. So I would be more inclined to take it, even though it'd be really inconvenient, to like a parking lot away from the street.
In the spirit of fair play and a willingness to help out motorists feeling the parking squeeze, officials say they're willing to bend a bit. As long as you're not in front of one of these, you won't have to worry about getting one of these.
It's a tricky position to be in. If you can't park in the lot, then who wants to go park at the lot, across the way?
Although it might not be convenient, officials say you should try and find an empty lot to park your car in for the time being. In Fargo, Courtney Lockie, Valley News Live.
Now keep in mind the city will be flagging some areas where they're going to be clearing, and if you can avoid parking in those areas, it would be a big help in getting the roads cleaned. Crews are cleaning up after 30 feet of awning collapsed in front of businesses late this afternoon. It happened at 2609 University South in Fargo. Officials say the collapse was caused from heavy snow on the awning. People were asked to stay inside while crews used 4x4s to try and stabilize what's left of the awning. No one was hurt. There's been a lot of reaction to today's announcement from the Fargo Catholic Diocese, naming 31 clergymen with sexual assault allegations dating back decades. Valley News Team's Alexandra Kay talked with a local woman who explained that accusations like these are the reason she left the Catholic Church.
The woman, who didn't want to be identified, says she grew up in a Catholic family. She found out that the same priest who baptized one of her sons was accused of abusing children in a hospital.
It was heartbreaking when I decided to change denominations.
The woman said the experience left a bad taste in her mouth and resulted in her leaving the Catholic faith.
I just felt like I wanted to take a different avenue with my family's spirituality after that.
The priest was Abraham Anthony. His name was on the list that the Diocese of Fargo released Thursday. He fled to his native India and never faced the consequences of his actions.
I know it's innocent until proven guilty, but at least let us have a chance.
Despite leaving the Catholic faith, the woman says she's still spiritual.
We're still Christians. We just don't actively practice in the Catholic faith.
And even though seeing this list made public surprised her, she's thankful it's finally out there.
I'm just glad that they have come out with some transparency, and I really hope it can help some of the abused heal.
In West Fargo, Alexandra Kay, Valley News Live.
The Bismarck Diocese also released a list of 22 priests with substantiated claims of child sexual abuse against them. Only 2 are still living. Bishop David Kagan said that it was in the interest of transparency and accountability that there has been no such allegations in the last 30 years. Both lists from the Fargo and Bismarck Diocese, as well as reaction from the Bishop of the Fargo Diocese, can be found on the Valley News Live app by searching this story. Charges are pending for a man accused of shooting a woman in the head early New Year's morning in rural Badger, Minnesota. 56-year-old Angelo Borison is currently being held on second-degree murder in the Roseau County Jail. Investigators aren't releasing the name of the person killed until family have been notified. Formal charges are expected to be filed tomorrow.
What is the strength of the United States, commissioners? It is our diversity.
I believe it should go for a vote of the people that are paying it, that are paying the bill.
The controversy over refugee resettlement continues in Burleigh County, North Dakota. After several heated debates last month, commissioners are once again taking up the issue in Bismarck and considering asking voters to decide.
The number of citizens have requested that it be a ballot item because I think they want to weigh in on the decision themselves, and I would support that.
If approved, the question will be on the ballot, and that vote will influence the commission's decisions over the next 2 years. An anonymous donor has stepped forward to pay off the lunch debt for all Fargo Public School students for the first semester. KFGO is reporting that the donation was more than $28,000. The school district says it's working with organizations in the community to cover any outstanding lunch debt for the rest of the year. That effort will include fundraising events to cover future lunch-related debt. The first baby of 2020 at Essentia Health in Fargo decided to wait until today to be born. Aubrey Joy was delivered at 7:50 a.m. She was delivered C-section, weighing 6 pounds, 5 ounces, and was 19 3/4 inches long. Aubrey's proud parents are Caitlin Hoekstra and Sean Peterson. Aubrey joins her big brother, Elias, who's 2.5.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with No Wait Weather.
All right, heading into our evening, here's what we're looking at. We have gray skies, some low clouds over the FM area, but we remain dry, and these clouds helping to keep us from getting too cold too fast. Now we have a northerly wind. It's fairly light, and it is pulling some cooler Canadian air down in our direction. We're down from near 30 earlier this evening to 26 in the FM area. The 30s still persistent down in Wahpeton, Breckenridge, Fergus Falls, and western Otter Tail County, Sisseton, as well as Gwinner. 29 in Jamestown, and up along Highway 2, we generally have 20 to 25 degrees with the coolest blob of air in northwest Minnesota heading into our overnight. Some snow showers developing. There is a weak Alberta clipper moving out of Alberta and into the northern plains. As it does so, it is going to intensify, bringing the snow to the south and east. Now we see the closest it gets is down here near the Dickey-Lemoore County area, out near Ashley, Wishick, and Napoleon. That's where it is right now. Heavy rain down in the Gulf Coast states and just this little unsettled weather pattern in the Pacific Northwest that promises to keep us, well, a little busy over the next couple of days, but nothing like we were this past weekend. Hey, the mild air here in the western Dakota is helping to keep our temperatures at bay. But there is some mighty chilly air developing up in parts of central Canada right now. Gillam at 6 below zero. Here is a look at your planning forecast. Low clouds and fog depicted by the dark gray colors you see here as we go through the overnight will keep us from getting too cold. However, I think our northern Minnesota counties, where we're already in the teens, will sneak down towards 10 degrees as we begin our day. The band of snow, did you notice it moved through the central part of the Dakotas and right here into southeast North Dakota? Best chance of snow showers will be for our viewers in Stutsman County, particularly western Stutsman County near Medina, Cleveland, down towards Ypsilanti, Ellendale, Lemoore, Oaks, Cullum. You folks already got hit and walloped bad with the last storm. That's where the snow is heading. Now, we could see some snow as we go through the morning hours here in southeast North Dakota, on again, off again, maybe even a few flakes as far north as Highway 200 or even Grand Forks, but nothing too significant to accumulate. Temperatures in the morning will be in the teens, warming only into the 20s for most areas. We'll be stapled in the teens, though, in northwest Minnesota for a cooler day with northwest winds. How much snow do you have to worry about shoveling? Well, maybe even a broom will take care of it north of Interstate 94. Along and south of Interstate 94, a few of us will get upwards of an inch, particularly on the border counties with South Dakota, where we could see isolated locations picking up to 3 inches of that flaky stuff. Here's your Fargo planner. Chance of showers of snow in the morning, 18 degrees. We'll see temperatures warming into the mid and upper 20s for our afternoon. Northwest winds will be breezy, 15 to 20 miles per hour, making it feel wind chilly throughout your day, so keep that in mind. A chance at mid-20s for eastern portions of North Dakota, and the coolest weather, again, as mentioned earlier, up in northwest Minnesota, where we'll be lucky to see 20 degrees. Beautiful trees, though, in the Shevlin area. Helen capturing this awesome postcard scene from that area. Here is a look at your Saturday planner. A cool day, 21 for an afternoon high. Much warmer Sunday with some south winds on the scene, a few flakes of snow as well. Now, take a gander at your forecast for next week. A chance of light snow as we go into what looks to be a cold period. An Arctic surge Wednesday morning has us at, Mike, 12 below zero. More Arctic air for the weekend after that.
All right, we'll put up with it for one night.
Okay, good.
Thanks. We're less than a week away from our coverage starting on Bison Nation in Frisco, Texas. Of course, it's a very common scene for many fans who travel south to cheer on NDSU as it plays for another national championship. Our crews are going to start touching down in Frisco next Wednesday. Live coverage to begin that night. We'll let you know how Frisco has prepared for the fans this time around. We'll follow the thousands of folks who begin arriving Thursday, and we'll see what NDSU has planned to get Bison Nation ramped up for the big game. Our pregame show will be 90 minutes long, starting at 9:30 Saturday morning. Now, that's January 11th. Look for former players, fans, and watch as the team arrives, so much more. It's 9:30 Saturday morning, January 11th on KVLY. Later on Valley News Live 10 at 10, North American birds are disappearing. How experts say you can come to their rescue.